no, this is just purely about some technical stuff that both Adam and I have seen over the last month or so, along with wanting to give you some insight about where we're going with some new things, and if you're interested in some of the future things that we're coming up on, please just let us know. We have a lot of things happening in Q1 this coming year. So just let us know. Obviously, I'm Nathan Forage. A lot of you have talked to me, along with almost everyone here has been talking to Adam, who's also on the phone. So with that, I'll go into just a little bit. So 19.6, the latest version was released a little over a week ago now. So it fixes it's a bug fix release. It has some image level fixes when you're backing up to a NAS and you're doing overwrite. That's something that we're seeing on random people having issues with that, and we figured out what that was, and that's fixed. There is some things on reporting to the CMON. We're seeing issues where, like, an agent would connect to the CMON, the management portal, and not always send the logs correctly and not always update. We fixed everything that we've saw so far there, and so far it's been about a week and a half, and things have been going good. That everything that we've seen, we are going to push automatic updates next week from the portal to all the agents. If you are a self-hosted MSP that hosts their own storage server and CMON, just get with Adam and he can get you the updates and that type of thing. With that said, I wanted to pass over to Adam, and he could talk about just some of the hot topics that we've seen just as of late.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Nate. Hey, everybody. So a couple of the things that have been, like you can see at the top there, hot topics. Initial seeds have definitely popped up a bunch. I'm not really super surprised because there's just everybody's growing. For some of you that might not even still be aware, we definitely offer that as a service. There's no additional fees. You basically pay for the round trip, and we'll take care of the upload. It's a ticket-based type thing, so you guys open up a ticket with us, let us know that you want a seed. We send you the information of where it needs to go. You send us back the tracking number, and then we wait. As soon as we get it, we upload it. We let you know the status of that, and then we'll ship it back to you. So again, it's a service that a lot of people don't get access to, or they have to pay more for. And we want to always stress that this is always such a great option, because after that first pull is done, which is of course via the stage seed, after that it's just block level incrementals, right? Or what we call fastbid for the last 20 plus years. So again, make sure if you ever need to take advantage of this type of solution, just let us know, let me know, open up a ticket and say you need some seeding service and we'll take care of you. Another thing, again, as people grow, they're also having a lot of data that needs to be archived or cleaned up or maybe just straight up removed from the systems. And all that data, of course, is up in the cloud as well. So how do we clean all that up? How do you go through that stage, of making sure all that stuff's off there, maybe conserve a little bit of space on the back end, of course, also conserving a little bit of money each month. So there's an option in the software where you can 100% just do delete, right? There's a delete tab. It might take a little while, especially if you have a bunch of files, because it has to make sure that it has the most accurate file list and volume list. But you could totally do that route in the software, or there's another route in the actual software itself that's called send delete file list. It's in the software itself. On the properties of your cloud storage device, you'll see an option in there. I think it's the advanced tab, if I'm not mistaken. Nate can correct me if I'm wrong, but is it on there, Nate? Is it the advanced tab?
It's on the advanced tab of the properties of the cloud storage device. Yep, exactly.
All right. Want to make sure I wasn't sitting in front of me, but anyways, that's an option too. And what this does is if you guys clean up the local side, right, where the software's installed, the data that you have chosen to be selected to back up, all that stuff, you remove that stuff, which is no longer then a part of that actual data set, it will send a delete request to the server after your restore window is met. Okay, so by default, everybody, if you've probably seen it and created it, it's a 30-day restore window. Now, once that restore window is hit on those particular files that are gone, it will remove them from the actual storage server, like off of our side, right? So it's gone. Now, obviously, that's a great way to groom data, take care of that, but you do not want to leave that on all the time, in my opinion, because what we're all here for, right? Nate and I used to be MSP, you guys are MSPs, resellers, is we're banking on end users to eventually make the mistake, right? Whether it's the ransomware thing, they opened a link or they actually deleted it, whether it was on purpose or not, or whatever happens, right? That's the reason why backup software is there. So you don't always want to leave this selected. So again, if you need more information on this, I think we also have a great KB article on this, or you can reach out to Nate and I. We can explain it further. We can show you how to do it. But it's a great way to help clean up maybe some of that older data or data maybe that was backed up and you just plain don't want it. Whether it's a users folder with a bunch of music in it or something like that, it's just an easy way to take care of it. A little more hands off in a sense, right? You can kind of sit back and you'll watch eventually that stuff drop off. So again, great option in the software if you want to do a little bit of grooming of that data.
Well, one thing I want to add on that, Adam, is the Sundeleted file list is really good if you are doing like backups of things that are like taking like a SQL dump that is time date stamped, or some of the dental software out there that you're doing backups of that they're zipping things up into a zip file that is time date stamped that sticks around for like a week or something like that. One of the things that we see people get into trouble with is, hey, I have this this archive folder selected for backup, and every day a new file is being put in there and it's time date stamped, but it only keeps like the last week in there. Well, with the way the software works on the cloud, that stuff will never get deleted from the cloud unless you either manually delete it, or if you have the Sundeleted file list enabled, so it'll actually tell the server to delete this after the restore window, so by default 30 days. So there are some cases where you will want to keep this on indefinitely on some of these machines, especially, you know, QuickBooks is another one that we see quite often. If you're backing up the archive data folder on that or what have you, this is something that I would strongly suggest having it enabled.
Yep, definitely. And that's something we see a lot. You know, why has my storage grown so much? You know, what's causing it? And you could actually drill down and eventually find it. But I tell you what, the first thing I do when I hear something like that is go to exactly where Nate was referring to. There's always some type of backup folder associated with some type of either proprietary database type program, or like QuickBooks or anything like that has their own that's doing dumps. So yeah, that's an excellent point. And for those particular situations, yeah, leaving it on there is totally fine. And it helps you guys basically stay away from that, you know, why did my storage all of a sudden blow up and you have to charge more? But yeah, great point. So next is the disaster recovery. So I hear this a lot, and I refer to it as a huge umbrella because there's so many things that can actually fall underneath it, right? And it's really depending on what your client's budget is. Everybody would love to have an automatic failover to some type of device or maybe even into the cloud or something like that, but their budget is nowhere near that. So what a lot of times I'm doing is talking to people that want that failover, right? And we can provide that. We've mentioned it before. We can take any particular machine with the software installed on it and dump that particular image out of that machine, right? We can do the native bare metal stuff. That's very traditional, very easy to do. We got your boot disk, but we can also, again, dump that same image out to a VHD or VHDX. Now, if they have a little bit of room in the budget to maybe whether you guys are going to straight sell it to them or maybe some type of hardware as a service and you can pay over time, it's around the monthly fee to have this device there, you can have a great little machine sitting in the back, whether it's a personal one you've built or maybe Buffalo's Windows storage server box or whatever it is, be in the back room for that particular DR scenario, right? So you have that virtual disk that you then can throw into Hyper-V and boot that up and work from it. But that necessarily might not be the same solution for another guy that needs DR. DR for them might simply be a backup to a USB drive or a NAS device or just simply a bare metal. I mean, it could really be anything. The biggest thing is testing it. Is it going to work for them, right? You're going to let them know, well, this is the budget you gave me to work within, so this is the time frame I'm going to be able to get you back into. all that really is, it's still disaster recovery, right? It just depends again on the spectrum that you're going to be really issued, right? What's I can only afford this much per month. Well, I can give you this, but depending on what it is, this NovaBACKUP software is pretty versatile, right? I think a lot of you know that are in here. Whether it's file and folder, image backup, application backup, it's all there. It just depends, again, what you guys are dealt with, the cards you're dealt, and what you can do with that. Kind of leading into that, when I was mentioning budgets and things like that and what people do, direct attached drives, we're all kind of scared a little bit of direct attached, right? The machine gets hit with ransomware, boom, they're done, right? That backup's gone. We do have a device that we're working with, or a company that we're working with in regards to that. I can always Nate, I'll actually, I'll let you kind of transition into that before I rattle on anymore. But I think it's something you guys will definitely like, especially for those smaller companies with a little bit less budget that will have a concrete device to basically thwart any ransomware away from it. So Nate, I'll let you go into that.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. As Adam was talking about, we're working with a hardware vendor. It's called IOSafe, if in case you're wondering. That they've came out with something. They worked with me to develop actually a hardware air gap solution, where the only thing that is able to write to the USB device is actually NovaBACKUP. So Windows can't write to it. The end user can't go in there and delete anything or anything like that. The only thing that is able to write to it is NovaBACKUP. You can read from other things, but the only thing that can write and or delete things or change anything on the device is actually NovaBACKUP. So we've thrown a number of things at it. Some ransomware solution, some ransomware in the wild, and put it into a air gap network to see what it would do and that type of thing. And so far in our early testings, everything's good. Right now, we're about ready to start asking for feedback and beta testers of the actual hardware itself. We don't have any pricing as of yet, but it's supposed to be reasonable considering what we've seen in the past. But it is a USB hard drive in I think RAID 1, so it's going to be interesting. So if you're interested, just let us know. Just send me an email. We'll have my contact information after this. But it'll be kind of cool, I think, especially for these small businesses, single server type solutions. It's going to work really well. The other thing we've been working around in the background is an Office 365 solution. I should say Office 365 and G Suite solution. We have we're just finishing up doing some stuff right now. We're probably looking at early Q1 release, but if there's any of you want to start testing with it and that type of thing, just let me know, and we can sort something out and get you more information about it. But it's very, very close. Let's put it that way. There is some other things, actually hardware related, that are probably going to be Q2 timeframe, but there is some other stuff that we're looking at with some partnerships that we're doing too. So 2021 is going to be an interesting time for us. Let's put it that way. With that, I think we're at the question phase. If there's any questions that anyone wants either Adam or myself to answer, any problems that you guys have had, anything like that, we're more than open. It's an open platform for any questions that you guys have. One question about the DR stuff. Okay, so the DR boot image, do I have to create a different boot disk or boot flash drive for every machine? No, you can use that on multiple machines. You can. It's basically a Windows PE boot disk that has our software on it. So you can use that on whatever machine that you need to use that for. So that's pretty easy. But obviously, if there's specific drivers for like RAID controllers or something like that, for machines, you might want to put multiple RAID controller drivers on that one master boot flash drive if you have it, that type of thing.
Yeah, and a couple questions I see popping in here that are matching the update, guys. Yeah, you can, just like it said there, anybody that's NovaStore hosted, it will 100% automatically upgrade. And I think, Nate, you're probably applying that next week, I think, right?
Yep,
Monday or Tuesday.
Yep.
So all you guys NovaStore hosted will be totally fine. Even if you have like stuff to install today, just continue using that 19.6 or even 19.5 if you have it. But you can always shoot me an email. I think a lot of people, an email went out as well already to notify you. I think I even seen some names in here right now that are going to meet with me today even. We are building all the builds. So as soon as we do get them, you can always check in, and you can email me directly too, guys. It's not a big deal. Adam@NovaBACKUP.com or Adam@NovaStore.com will work either way. And just say, hey, do you have the new build for me? It's simple, yes or no. I'll just say, yes, I'm building it, or no, I don't quite have it yet, or either way, I'll get it to you. But rest assured, don't hold up any of your installations. Keep doing them. There's nothing wrong with this build right now. As you saw, there was very, very, very minor fixes, but a very important one for the latest one, which is that overwrite to a NAS. And I know a lot of you guys are using NASs and stuff. So anyways, I just want to clear that because I saw multiple questions based on like, how do I get it or where do I do? And for you self-hosted guys that are here, 100% get a hold of me, schedule a time. We'll get your environment set up. We'll get you the new EXE. It takes, I don't know, maybe 20, 25 minutes. I make some backups of your databases, get everything installed, make sure it's working, and away you go. So.
Yeah. One other thing, what we might do, depending on what we see on the auto upgrades, we've seen some older, like 19.4, 19.3 installations not auto upgrade real good. So we might take a gander on the portal and see, which ones haven't upgraded and that type of thing, and we might send out an email probably maybe in January after things have settled down a little bit to say, hey, just to let you know, you guys have these outstanding agents that are running the older version. We've also seen some antivirus software, specifically, what is it, Sophos Intercept X or something like that,
Yep.
it'll cause the upgrade not to actually run. So it basically downloads it, but when it tries to run the executable, Sophos sees it as not, basically malware or something like that, something trying to install itself, and stops the installation. So that's just something to let you know.
Yeah, and make sure and check your guys' portal on your agents and groups tab. You'll actually see the versions and things that are hanging out there. So if you do see any 19.3s or 4s, you can always take the EXE that you currently have, which is either 19.5 or 6, and just run it right over top of it. There's no problem at all. So if you find that in your portal, go out to that agent, run your EXE over top. If you need the newest one, you can always ping me. And we're building all the builds, so they're probably going to build all weekend long because there's lots of them. And then we'll get them out to you for sure next week. And then also Nate's putting on the auto upgrade next week too. So any of your 19.6s that are out there, they'll go to the latest .118, and you guys will be ready to roll.
I think with that, unless there's any other questions, I think we'll close up.